So we are here in Joubert Park this morning to unveil our premier candidate, Vuyiswa Ramokgopa, our Gauteng premier candidate. So the reason we are here is because Vuyiswa was born around here. She used to stay around here. She used to come and play in this particular park. So we are taking it from the beginning as Mzansi, from where she was born and where she grew up. And that's why the choice of Joubert Park as a venue.
Good morning, risers. Good morning. Good morning, Gautengers. Good morning. Sanbonani. Yeah. Dumelang. Yeah. I am truly humbled to be here with you today. It is with great excitement, responsibility, and determination that I accept the nomination from the Mzansi National Leadership Collective to be the Gauteng Premier candidate in the upcoming Gauteng provincial election. Before I share with you what I intend to do as a Premier of Gauteng, I want to share with you a little story about my life and why I chose to make this announcement here in Joubert Park, where we are today. Joubert Park holds a very special place in my heart. I grew up playing in this park. I spent the first 6 years of my life living just a few meters away from this park in Smith Street, right here in Hillbrow, in a 2-bedroom apartment with my parents and my older brother, who are all here with us today. I attended creche just around the corner from here. And as a child, this was a place where I felt safe, where I felt cared for, where I felt loved. As an adult, I feel vulnerable. I feel unsafe and somewhat displaced from this place of my birth. Something has been lost. I am a 3rd generation Gauteng native. My mother was born in Sophia Town and grew up in Midlands, Soweto. My father was born in Daveyton. My maternal grandmother was born not far from here, in Yeoville. And my father's mother was born in Boksburg in 1924. These are neighborhoods that once upon a time had a rich history of activism, of creative arts, of black excellence, and a sense of community working towards a liberated South Africa. Today, these neighborhoods are derelict. They're abandoned and forgotten by those who govern. But this is my home, and I'm not going to abandon it. My father, who is a performing artist and a trained classical ballet dancer, as a young child, we would go and watch him perform, not far from here, in Newtown at the Market Theatre. I am a child of this city. It is a city that I proudly call home. But it is a complex place. It is a place that is gritty, that is rough. But it's also a place that is hopeful and filled with opportunity. Not far from here, in Braamfontein, I started my first business when I was 22 years old. It was a clothing retail store, unsurprisingly called 22. And since then, I have had the privilege of building and running and leading many other businesses and many organizations. As an entrepreneur, I have endured the challenges of starting with nothing and sacrificing every last rand I had to fund my dreams. I have also felt the shame of failure and the pain of having to start all over again with nothing. I know how unforgiving life can be as an entrepreneur and as a single mother, being expected to shoulder the responsibility of paying for school fees, medical aid, transport, and rent, knowing that after all of that, you'll be left with nothing for yourself even. As a child, I watched my mother endure those very struggles. She worked long hours and sacrificed everything to raise me and my brother on her own. And despite the hardships that she faced as a single mother and as a businesswoman, she made sure that we never went to bed hungry. And she made sure that we received the best education that was possible. She sacrificed so that my brother and I could have a better life. Today, I am back here at my childhood home to say to my parents, I honor you and I thank you. I thank you for raising me to be the woman that I am today. The woman who today is announcing that she will contest to be the Premier of Gauteng, the place that you have both called home for so many years. I share the story of my life and my upbringing with you, not because it is a unique story. I share it because it is the story of many millions of people who live in Gauteng and those who have come to Gauteng in the hopes of securing a better life for themselves and their families. Our parents sacrificed so that we could have a better future. That future has not been realized. That future is being destroyed. I stand before you as an active citizen of this province, a wife and a mother of 3 children. I worry about all of our children. What will be left of this province by the time they reach my age? I'm 38 years old. I stand here worried, but determined. I'm worried about Gauteng and my children and the many millions more who are growing up in this place. I worry about whether there will be left anything for them to inherit. I'm determined to change the situation for them, to leave behind a safe, a prosperous, and an equal and united Gauteng, where all of the people of this beautiful province can live a happy and dignified life. This must be achieved in 1 generation.
Yes.
I have had the privilege of visiting and living in other countries, both in South Africa and abroad. But this is and will always be my home. It is here in Gauteng that I've chosen to raise my children and establish my roots. Gauteng is the economic heartbeat of this country. Nothing can compare to the pioneering nature of the people of this province. This province is a cultural melting pot where all languages are spoken and all people are welcome. When Gauteng is healthy, South Africa is healthy. When Gauteng is safe, South Africa is safe. When Gauteng is prosperous, South Africa and all its people will be prosperous. Tragically and painfully, that is not the current state of affairs. Gauteng is broken. It is not prosperous, it is not healthy, and it is not safe. We gather today in a city that has been neglected and allowed to fall into decay. The state of my childhood home is emblematic of a province that is misgoverned by selfish, uncaring politicians whose true constituencies are their own pockets and their lies and their empty promises. They don't care about us, the people. The communities of Meadowlands, Hammanskraal, Kempton Park, Soshanguve, Riverlea, Alexandra, Beckersdal, and Lenasia. All of these places have been abandoned. I care about all 15 million people in this province. The government in Gauteng does not care about the single mother in Sebokeng who is struggling to put food on the table for her children. I, Vuyiswa Ramokgopa, I care. They don't care about young graduates who cannot find work, who can't even afford to travel from Orange Farm to come into the city to look for work. I care. They don't care about the young woman from Tembisa who is told that the only way that she can get a job is by having sex with a municipal official. I care. They don't care about the community of Skierlik who are forced to drink contaminated water from a quarry. I care. They don't care about the father from Zamimpilo informal settlement worrying about his grade 1 child who is still without a school placement on the 6th of February. I care. They don't care about the lack of service delivery while they're busy squabbling in councils, horse trading positions and seats while the city crumbles. I care. And they don't care about how we live in constant fear for our lives and for the safety of our children. Our children who are pushed into a cycle of loitering, drugs, crime, and depression because of the state of this country. I care. And they simply just don't care. Full stop. So leaders and citizens of Gauteng, it gets me so angry that children, too many children that are born today, will remain doomed to a life of poverty and unemployment and will likely become victims of violent crime or traumatic abuse by the time they reach their teenage years. This is a fact. For most African and colored people, it is too expensive to even look for a job because of the cost of transport has become so prohibitive that many have just stopped looking. We call that the expanded unemployment rate. We have normalized the abnormal, and it is evident that the current leaders have no plans or ideas or will to reimagine and rebuild this province. As the people of Gauteng, we deserve better. We deserve a safe, a prosperous, an equal and united Gauteng, where we can all live a happy and most importantly, a dignified life. This may seem like a dream right now. It may seem unrealistic, but I'm here to say to you that we can make this dream a reality. With you and with all of us, we will do it in one generation. If we rise collectively for Gauteng, we can do it for our children and for the generations to come. No one is coming to save us. We are the leaders we have been waiting for. So leaders and residents of Gauteng, our campaign must focus on what we, the people of this province, can do to realize that dream of that Gauteng that we all deserve. We know what's wrong. What we must do is empower people to stand up and say what's wrong and say what is unacceptable. We don't have to live like this. We deserve better, and it is in our hands to make better. So the path towards building the Gauteng we all deserve starts with new leaders. And the Rise Mzansi People's Manifesto is a roadmap to this journey. Making Gauteng prosperous starts by removing the current unethical and uncaring leadership that is responsible for the deep crisis our province finds itself in.